when he did get the baseball from James Earl Jones with all the signatures on it, and I guess it was better than the ball that he had, but it's not the point about getting me something better. It's the fact that you deliberately disobeyed me. You went into my house, you went into my room, and you took my ball. And even though this ball is better, but the fact that you stole from me, that requires an ass whooping out of this world. Take him to the tree of woe. Crucify him. All right, y'all, did you miss me? I've been gone for a minute. Last thing I talked about was the monkey. And now I'm here to talk about a film that everybody and their mama has seen and that I have not seen. And I'm embarrassed because I take pride in seeing a lot of shit. And the fact that I missed this movie, it leaves me somewhat embarrassed, but not so much because this movie is not my type of movie. When this came out, this was along the same lines as like the Mighty Ducks and all those little kiddie sports movies that at the time didn't appeal to me. At that time, I was into horror movies and hood movies. I ain't give a fuck about stuff like that. So now here it is 30 plus years later. I'm an old man now, got some gray hair on my nuts. And I said, okay, let me finally watch The Sandlot and see what the hype is about this movie. People love this movie. People call it a great movie. People like really have genuine love for this film. And my boy Dave actually, because I posted on Facebook, I say I'm finally watching The Sandlot, and my boy Dave from Interpreting the Stars was like, well, bro, I'm curious to hear what you think, because this is one of those movies where if you didn't grow up in that time, if you wasn't around at that time, then you're probably not going to appreciate it. It's really a nostalgic type film, and it is. But being that I come from this era, because I come from the 90s, this had the flow and the tone and everything that I could appreciate for its time. I did like The Little Giants. So that kind of contradicts what I said about these kiddie sports movies, but that's because I was a football fan. I hate baseball, all right? I'm just going to put that out there. I hate baseball. Uncle Shy got a little story for y'all. Don't worry, I ain't going to take long, y'all. I'm going to get to the review, but I'm just going to give you my history with baseball. My father, James, was a hardcore baseball fan, played it all his life. He was a big Yankees fan, the Mets. I remember watching the World Series with him when the Mets won in '86. And my father really wanted me to be a baseball player. He wanted to pass his love of baseball down to me. And unfortunately, his son, okay, the apple of his eye, the fruit of his loins, was not a talented baseball player, okay? I had, as Ari Spears calls, the coordination of a baby giraffe. I couldn't do shit. I can't throw a baseball. I can't hit a ball. We used to go to the batting cage. When I would hit the ball with the aluminum bat, my hand would start stinging. I couldn't catch to save my life. If I throw it, it always went 100 miles the opposite direction. And the cherry on top, the straw that broke the camel's back was when he took me to a Mets game. And I remember it being freezing cold. It was like so cold, man. Colder than a witch's titty out there. And no matter what he tried, I couldn't warm up. We tried ordering hot chocolate. I tried eating like a hot dog and shit, whatever, to try to warm my body up, and nothing worked. And so as my dad is like cheering for the Mets, I'm sitting there shivering like this, like, Dad, save me. And he took me out of there, and I never watched baseball again. I hated playing baseball. I do not like baseball. So just to give you some context, that's why I don't watch a lot of baseball films. So like Field of Dreams, Bull Durham, For Love of the Game, I have not watched any of those. Only baseball movies I think I've seen is Major League, A League of Their Own, and this movie called Rookie of the Year, only because it came on HBO. But yes, The Sandlot was not on my radar. But I enjoyed this movie more than I thought I was going to enjoy it, just because it felt like it was like I was watching The Wonder Years, and I love The Wonder Years. It was like The Wonder Years and Stand By Me, but without all the dark shit in Stand By Me. But it was like The Wonder Years, Stand By Me with baseball and a dog. And I was on board for it. I was engaged in this movie. I fell in love with all the characters, except for the lead. I'm going to get to him in a second. I fell in love with all the characters, the whole thing with the dog, how they created this whole myth about the beast and how vicious it was. And it's just that classic coming of age story that I think most of us can relate to, because You know, especially growing up in the 70s and the 80s and even the 90s, you know, you can relate to that time where all you did was like, you know, this is before social media and gadgets and PS4s and all that stuff. You know, back then we had one Nintendo per house. There was no online gaming. If you know, most of the times you was outside with your friends playing because your mom kicked you out the house because she had to clean the house up, and you went outside like as soon as the afternoon hit, and then you didn't come back in until the street light came on. So all that I could relate to, except for the baseball stuff. I hated baseball. Like I still have reoccurring nightmares of playing baseball and phys ed with Coach Farrell and just hearing that no better swing better. I hated that shit because I was that guy that always struck out, or when I did hit it, it was a foul, and all the kids would laugh at me and stuff. I hated baseball. I was a full contact type of person. I was a football player. I was mean. I like physical contact. I was rough. I don't want to hit no baseball, catch no throwing shit, man. Anyways, but yeah, I loved all the characters here. Even the situations that happened in this movie. Like my favorite scene is your boy Squints. Right, he was my favorite character of all the kids. Squints and Ham. I love both of those guys, right? When Squints did that hustle where they went to the pool and he saw the lifeguard as fine as she was, like she was finer than frog hair, and he did that thing where he acted like he was drowning just so she can give him mouth to mouth, and he ended up slobbing it down. I was like, yo, that's my dude right there. I fuck with Squints, and I like Ham just because Ham kind of reflected my sentiments on what's the lead character boy? What's his name? I don't like him so much I can't remember his name. Well, not Shorty. Is it Short? Smalls. Yeah, you're killing me, Smalls. Yo, you're killing me. You don't even know what a s'mores is? Well, why would I want some more if I didn't? I'm like, dude. So yeah, so I'm gonna get to that right now because I don't want to lose nobody. I hated the lead kid. That was my only problem with this movie. I hated Smalls. Okay, but Rashad, you gotta understand he's a new kid. He doesn't know anything. I don't give a shit. You know. I've never been like the new kid in a new place, but I've seen new kids come into town before, and they weren't that naive and stupid like that. You know, a lot of times a new kid would adjust right away, and sometimes even take over right away. But this kid didn't know shit. You don't know what a s'mores is? Yeah, and even the whole shit with so there's like a whole chunk of this movie where they got to get a baseball out the yard where the beast is at. Okay, so Smalls finally hits a home run. He steals it. Well, first of all, he steals his stepdaddy's ball, right? Which you should have known better. You steal your stepdaddy's ball. You hit your first home run. It goes over the fence. Usually they let that go, but no, I gotta get this ball back. I'm in trouble. So Benny, the leader, risks his life, risks it all to get this ball back for this nigga, and almost gets killed by the beast. You know what I mean? And so yes, everything worked out at the end the way it was supposed to, wrapped up with a nice bow on top. They met James Earl Jones, who was a friend of Babe Ruth and all that shit. But come on, man. Yo, all the dog, Smalls was like the worst friend ever. Like he was that friend now in real life. In real life, if you have a crew of kids and you have somebody like Smalls come into the group, he's not gonna make it. I'm sorry. Like there's gotta be something about him where even if he's not down all the way yet, but there's something about him. Well, okay, I fuck with this kid. There was nothing fuck-wittable about this kid. Nothing. He was naive. He was unathletic. Didn't know shit. He was a fucking dork. Okay, damn it. He was a dork. And I don't care if y'all get mad at me, man. Smalls can kick rocks. All right, I hated every time he was on screen. I fucked with the rest of the kids, but Smalls was like he could go. When he did get the baseball from James Earl Jones with all the signatures on it, and I guess it was better than the ball that he had. But it's not the point about getting me something better. It's the fact that you deliberately disobeyed me. You went into my house. You went into my room. And you took my ball. And even though this ball is better, but the fact that you stole from me, that requires an ass whooping out of this world. Take him to the tree of woe. Crucify him. That's what I wanted the stepdaddy to do. I wanted Dennis Leary to beat that boy within an inch of his life. I wanted him to tell him to go take a bath. Okay, to those of you that probably don't know, back in the day when you really fucked up, especially with black parents, they made you go take a bath, get your skin nice and soft, and then once you get out of that bathtub while you're still dripping wet, get a switch and go to town and tear your ass up. I was hoping Dennis Leary would tear Smalls up. You're killing me, Smalls. But other than that, this was a great film. I'm not going to keep y'all. Where am I at? Damn. This was okay. Well, I don't want to call it a great film, but this is a really good film. All right. I agree with David. If I would have watched this back then as a shorty, I probably would have a lot of nostalgia for it. But as a grown man, I'm not gonna say it's a great film. I wouldn't put it up in my top whatever, but I really did enjoy this though. Like, I related to a lot of the situations and the stuff that happened. It made me mentally go back to a more simpler time where hanging out with your friends were everything. You know, this is before you call on the cell phone or inbox each other. You just went right to your homie's house and be like, hey man, y'all want to go to the store? Y'all want to go kick it or do this? No money or nothing, man. Just with your boys, making up shit as you go along, man, and having the time of your life. And that movie took me back to that time. So I appreciate it for that, and I did enjoy this. So with that being said, I give the Sandlot, I give this movie a B+, y'all. I really dug it. I can't give it an A because Smalls got my pressure up. All right, and I'm older now. I can't be getting my pressure up like that, y'all. I'm getting older now. I ain't got time for that no more. Yeah. But B+, Sandlot, worth the hype. That's it, and that's all. What did y'all think about the movie? Comment freely below. Let me know what you thought. If you like and dig this content, hit that like and subscribe, notification bell in the corner. This is Rashad G signing out. See you in the next video.